Young ladies and gentlemen, the situation is becoming serious for NATO and for Europe, for the whole of the West. It is no longer Vladimir Putin who he speaks. He is no longer the spokesperson for Dmitry Peskov. Kremlin is speaking. This is Dmitry Peskov Kremlin, the chairman of the Russian State Duma. That means when you hear Duma, the Russian state body is the Russian parliament, the representatives' legal and legitimate rights of the Russian people. He is the president of the Russian parliament who is speaking. He issues a warning, a final one, warning to the west of Kazan. This warning shocks, troubles NATO, troubles the West. They don't even know that to say for now. What does he have said? First, it's important to remember that the Speaker of the Russian State Duma speaks rarely. That is to say, he speaks of a extremely rare. But when he speaks, they do it. They don't talk like that. What exactly did he say? He was very clear. She said the West must bow to Russia or confront the apocalyptic weapon Poseidon. Finished. Either the West bows down and recognizes Russia's strength, that is, the West prepares to confront Poseidon, but put it down, that's the weapon. Apocalyptic. When I say the weapon apocalyptic, some will start thinking about Satan too. No, it's not Satan. Two, yes, it is. Satan's younger brother. Two, what we call RS-28 Smart. That NATO was so afraid NATO is the one that has. This weapon is nicknamed Satan too. It is not Satan, it's his. It's the young one. Therefore, Poseidon is the brother of his younger brother. Ladies and gentlemen, within the framework of this geopolitical conference dedicated to world news, of course, is about this shocking statement that we are going to speak. But before we continue, please share this widely conference in all groups such as you can. And don't forget to click the subscribe button if it is your first time obviously falling. About my conference. Let's get into it. Depths. The Poseidon is back. The weapon Russian apocalyptic. This is a declaration to the State Duma Russian. It's a message to the world. The one who made the statement, his name is Vyacheslav Volodin. Vyave Volodin. He is the president of the Duma, Russian State Duma. He said this. He states that the West should to bow down to Vladimir Putin if he wanted to avoid using the system Poseidon, not only in front of Russia, but bowing down to Vladimir Putin if the West wants to avoid confronting Poseidon. That is to say, the West has the choice is either to bow down to Putin or confront Poseidon. No other choice is not possible, and Russia is unyielding. You've seen it from the beginning. Donald Trump tried to negotiate something. Russia is inflexible. When Putin warns you, if you don't do that, I'll do that. Putin insists, he will do it. This is like the hot water we just pouring down on the West. A choice difficult. The West will not accept bowing down to Putin, and the West will also refuse to face Poseidon. No one dares to defy him. Poseidon, it's a system that even the West doesn't have any. That's why Donald Trump orders tests nuclear weapons to try to demonstrate that they have capabilities. Let's go into the depths. The chairman of the Russian State Duma has specified this. He said, there is no weapon in a world capable of equaling Poseidon. He explains it clearly so that he understands. He spoke of a time sincere and severe, of a firmness absolute. The West should bow to Vladimir Putin or confronting Poseidon. That's clear. He knows the Vladimir Putin's mentality. We're telling you, Putin, his very name inspires fear. And fear all the institutions of the Republic. They pledge allegiance to him. From the Federation of Russia pledges allegiance to him because he's someone who is focused on his objective. So the time is deliberately provocative, let's be honest. Moscow reiterates its capacity to total destruction. Total destruction. Total destruction because of this weapon does not just destroy, but destroys Absolutely. It's a qualified weapon of apocalyptic weapons. So the big brother of this weapon, him also his older brother, so much so that it was too late. NATO nicknamed it Satan 2. It's over. That is to say the first Satan, he is over there, but it is his second Satan because it is him. Its sound is synonymous with destruction, massive. If in addition to all that, the Bor Vesnik has just been added, the Bor Vesnik after Satan 2, we stuffed Vestke, then we have Poseidon. So it must be said that Poseidon is an underwater drone nuclear intercontinental capable of carrying a 2-meter warhead tons and cause a tidal rat radioactive. Maranatha sends nuclear warheads and then it is capable of creating a tidal. That's where it gets dangerous. Well, what happened in Iran after the so-called Strikes American, all the concern of scientists and all those they care about the planet, they said, Lord, they have taken their lead. There shouldn't be any activities radioactive. This type of weapon, when placed, therefore resembles, that is to say, it's in the image, and it is 1,000 times, I said 1,000 times, sorry, 5 times more powerful than weapons which were used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it happened in what year? But until then, the after effects are still there. Children are born without nostrils, others are born without, well, and then there are malformations. We sow products from seeds. Agricultural things don't grow because the weapons that have Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed of extreme gravity. Firstly, for the soil, subsoil environment, air is polluted. There they tell you that children continue to be born without arms. These are the consequences of the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's found in the air, in the water they drink. They tell you it's stronger. Poseidon is stronger than these weapons. Stronger, I was going to say. Imagine what happens next. So its reach is unlimited. It has unlimited range and Poseidon is nuclear powered. Its depth is several kilometers. No system, I repeat, no interception system exists currently to stop Poseidon. There aren't any. That's why he says either you bow down to Putin or you face Poseidon. Finished. So we haven't seen the reaction yet.